Hey everyone! Today we're diving headfirst into the world of ethical and sustainable apps, aka tools that will help us be slightly less terrible in our daily lives. Because if you're like me and you're trying to make more conscious choices in your daily life about what to consume, how to engage with your local community, and how to sneak little acts of activism here and there without feeling too overwhelmed, then this one's for you. So grab your reusable bottle, get comfy, and let's look at apps and platforms that will help us to identify local or European businesses, reduce food waste, engage with our neighborhood, identify health risks in products, and maybe, just maybe, make late-stage capitalism slightly more sufferable. First, we have a very exciting app that I've been burning to talk about. It was recently launched with the help of Go European, and it's BrandSnap. BrandSnap is like Shazam for conscious shopping. You scan a product with or without a barcode, and it instantly shows you whether it's European or not. And if it's not, it will instantly recommend to you European alternatives. It works for food, cosmetics, fashion, electronics, and so many other categories, and it also includes a searchable database of European brands. You can save favorites, share your finds, and support the Go European movement. And there are different reasons for going European. First of all, European products are held to higher environmental, labor, and privacy standards. And most importantly, supporting local producers will help to reduce carbon emissions from shipping and break down monopolies. According to the European Commission, 70% of EU consumers trust that their consumer rights are respected by traders. That's just a way to say that a lot of people trust that they won't get poisoned by a shampoo produced in France. And it's not just about safety, it's also a political thing. A lot of consumers in the world are opting to buy local or European amidst the trade tensions with the US and all the scandals that are happening there, whether it's because of quality, ethics, or just not wanting to give your money to companies that engage in a lot of controversies. So I definitely recommend you to download BrandSnap. There's a link in the description or in the comments. And while you're doing it, let's watch a little video of me doing an investigation.
So today is a very exciting day because I'm going out into the wild to do a little investigation. I'm going to scan different products to find out whether they are European, whether they are sustainable, whether they are ethically produced, and if they contain hazardous ingredients. So let's find out. First, I'm going to head towards TK Maxx. It's not a place where I would usually go. Honestly, I haven't been there in such a long time because I try to buy most of my products secondhand. But for the sake of this video, I thought it would be a perfect place because it has a wide variety of different products from different countries. It has clothing, it has electronics, personal care products. So it will be perfect for all of our different apps that we're going to test today. Oh, squirrel! I was actually quite surprised with how well BrandSnap was able to identify brands on the photos that I was taking, because sometimes it was quite hard to take a clear photo or to have the brand clearly in focus on the photo. So it worked really well.
Yeah, I was definitely pleasantly surprised with how many brands it recognized instantly. It was super easy to use, very satisfying, and I will definitely continue using it in my daily life. Next, we have another really exciting platform that I learned about through Go European. It's Youro. Youro is an online ethical marketplace where every product goes through a thorough sustainability background check. It means fair labor, low environmental impact, and none of that greenwashing nonsense where the tag says eco, but it was produced by a 6-year-old under a bridge and then flown in on a private jet. Nowadays, online marketplaces are dominated by players like Amazon or Temu that could not care less about ethics or sustainability. And whether you order something from Amazon, a US company, or Temu, a Chinese company, it still comes from the same Chinese factory with very low labor standards and absolutely terrifying environmental impact. That's why we as consumers should make the conscious choice to go for marketplaces like Youro that feature fashion, skincare, home goods, pet products. It's perfect for people that want to shop consciously without having to research the supply chain of a product like they're preparing for a UN summit. And fun fact, according to the Fashion Transparency Index, on average, fashion brands score just 24% on transparency, and nearly a third are so secretive they score less than 10%. And what's even crazy is that 85% of brands don't tell you how much they produce each year, fueling the global clothing waste crisis. And almost all of them, a whopping 96%, won't say how many workers in their supply chain actually get paid a living wage. So whenever you have to buy something new, you can just go on Youro and browse calmly, knowing for sure that your products weren't made by exploited workers or sad factory fumes. I really like the minimalist design of the website, and just like it promises, it's very transparent. And for example, we have this brand called What. They have a detailed product and brand description. Actually, each brand gets to introduce themselves to the buyers so that you know the stories behind each piece. And I love that concept very much. For example, this brand, you can see that it's designed in Germany and then produced in Portugal and Italy. You get the information about the company, the production process, the materials, and they have a very fair shipping and returns policies. They really have a wide variety of products. For example, this handmade section has keychains, cable things, watercolor paints that are all produced sustainably. Of course, the prices will be a little bit higher, but I think at this point we all know that ethical and sustainable production of anything requires more time and more resources, and hence it is a little bit more expensive. And apparently the platform is still growing. They will add more and more choices in the future, but of course it has to come also with consumer demand. So definitely support Youro. But then you might not even need to buy a new product, because a lot of things that we need in our daily lives can be bought secondhand, and that's where Vinted comes in. Vinted is a peer-to-peer secondhand fashion app where you can buy and sell clothes you no longer need. It's like thrifting, but from your phone, and you don't even have to endure the tedious process of walking around a huge thrift store trying to find something you like. I've been using Vinted for years, and lately it's been my main source of acquiring any new clothing, because I'm a huge proponent of thrifting. Whenever I put together new outfits, it always gives me so much pleasure before going out to tell myself, oh, I thrifted this pants, and I thrifted this top, and I thrifted my shoes, and most of the times it is from Vinted. And it's not only buying things from Vinted, but also selling your old stuff that you might not be using, or maybe it doesn't fit you anymore. It's about giving second life to things. And you might ask, why does it matter? Well, the fashion industry is the second largest industrial polluter, accounting for about 10% of global pollution, ranking higher than emissions from air travel and maritime transport combined. According to the European Environment Agency, in 2020, textile consumption per person in the EU required an average of 400 square meters of land, 9 cubic meters of water, and 391 kilograms of raw materials, and caused a carbon footprint of about 270 kilograms. And moreover, in the realm of thrifting, more than $500 billion are lost every year due to lack of recycling and clothing utilization, and less than half of used clothes are collected for reuse or recycling. Only 1% of used clothes are recycled into new clothes, since technologies that would enable clothes to be recycled into virgin fibers are only now starting to emerge. So using Vinted, Depop, eBay, if you're in Germany, Kleinanzeigen, means that less clothes will end up in landfills, you will have more money in your pockets, and will have to endure fewer fast fashion hauls on TikTok.
Why?
Let me show you what I got and what I sold on Vinted, preparing for summer. While reorganizing my closet, I noticed that there were a lot of tops that I haven't been wearing for years now, and I could definitely get rid of them without any guilt. They were still in great condition, and now other people can give them some love that they haven't been getting from me for so much time. And then I needed some new sneakers, so I just recently thrifted this Converse and a really cute fairy top that I will never stop wearing.
She was a fairy.
Okay, I'll stop ranting about it and let's move on to the next app, which is TooGoodToGo. You may have heard of it. It's a genius concept. TooGoodToGo lets you rescue unsold food from local cafes, bakeries, and restaurants at the end of the day. And not only at the end of the day, by the way. And you get a discounted surprise bag to avoid food waste and let the planet breathe a tiny sigh of relief. Here are some food waste stats that you have to know, and they will definitely inspire you to run to use TooGoodToGo. In 2022, the world wasted an estimated of 1 billion tons of food, which is 132 kilograms per person. 90% of food available to consumers was wasted at the retail, food service, and household levels. According to FAO, around half of the wasted food in the world is fruits and vegetables, including roots and tubers, followed by fish, seafood, and cereal products. And here's the worst thing that we cannot ignore. Food waste contributes 8 to 10% of global greenhouse gas emissions. Almost 10%. But we can go even further. The entire food system, from farm to fork to landfill, is actually the single biggest global emitter of greenhouse gases. Bigger than transport, bigger than energy. Yet it always somehow gets ignored in major climate talks like COP.
Cool, no doubt.
So yeah, buying discounted pastries from TooGoodToGo is basically an act of heroism, and honestly, we all should do it more. But it also has to be combined with a very conscious use of food products at home when you cook. In these cases, I always think of my grandma who never wastes a leaf from a vegetable. She always knows how to make something delicious out of every part of a fruit or a vegetable, whether it's dried watermelon skin for snacks or some other delicious stuff. But let's take a look at what I got on TooGoodToGo.
I just realized that the place that I've chose for TooGoodToGo is in front of my old office, and I used to go there all the time. They have really good, fresh and delicious vegetables and fruits, and I used to chit-chat with them sometimes, so I'm actually super excited. It's crazy that I didn't recognize it when I chose the place, but now I'm gonna go there and say hi to everyone. Very happy. And also, by the way, I'm not sure if I'll be able to film everything. First of all, I want to respect their privacy, and second of all, I'm not sure I'm there yet as a YouTuber. Give me some time. And now I'm going straight to my TooGoodToGo order. So let's see how it goes. The weather in Berlin is a bit cold. I'm in an autumn jacket, but still very nice to walk around. It was definitely a success with TooGoodToGo. I got a bag of fresh, completely fine vegetables that I can cook now. Also reconnected with the people that work there, and yeah, it was overall a beautiful experience. I will definitely go for it again. And another point is that with this I also supported local farmers, so it's a lot of wins today. Very happy. While I was walking in this park on the way home, I think I got pooped on. Now I can do a little TooGoodToGo haul. First I got this salad. So beautiful, look at it, like a flower. Then I got these peppers. I actually don't cook a lot of peppers, so I'm excited to see what I can do with it. One of my favorite hobbies lately is to go to the farmer's market and pick up vegetables that I have never cooked with, and then I search for recipes with them, and it's always something so exciting. It usually turns out really good if you follow the recipes, so we're excited for this. Then I got a lot of carrots, a courgette, and of course the star of the show, this beautiful cauliflower. Look how gorgeous it is. Absolutely magnificent. Got 2 potatoes. And this little beauty. Is this a pepper? I'm actually not sure, but I think it is. And as a beautiful gift, I got this fruit. I also wanted some strawberries, so on top of my TooGoodToGo order, I also got these gorgeous strawberries. They smell divine. The only thing I wasn't super happy about is that they gave it to me in a plastic bag, and even though I had brought my own reusable bag, I couldn't ask them to put everything now in my own bag. I don't know if it's just me, but whenever I have a plastic bag in my hand, I feel like I'm doing something terrible to the planet, so didn't enjoy that.
Shameful. Shameful.
I used to live in Rome. I also have spent quite some time in Paris, and I noticed that Italy and France has a slightly better TooGoodToGo experience than Germany, but I'm still really enjoying what Berlin has to offer. You can always get some delicious bread or pastries, which is the most common, meals from restaurants, or groceries, which I had never tried before, so I'm really happy that I got to try it in this video, and now I think I'll always try to get my groceries this way, at least most of the time. So if you're feeling inspired to use TooGoodToGo after watching this video, or you've already done it this week, then go king or queen. You did an amazing job. you're saving the planet. A quick little interruption. If you're enjoying this video, you've learned a thing or two, or you've added one of these apps already to your phone, then definitely hit that subscribe button. I love making this content for you guys, and your support enables me to continue doing it. Oh, and if you want to see even more content like this that didn't make into this video because it would be otherwise too long, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon or YouTube Premium for extra footage. I just uploaded a little bonus episode with more interesting apps. Okay, now back to saving the planet. Next we have Karma. It's similar to TooGoodToGo, but Karma lets you see exactly what food you're getting before you buy it. There's no mystery box, no surprise seafood salad when you're vegetarian. So it's great for picky eaters, allergy folks, and control freaks. Unfortunately, though, I wasn't able to test Karma at all because it's a Swedish startup that is currently in the UK, also in France, some other countries, but it's not available in Germany, so it's very sad. But they're still available in 225 cities, so if you're one of the lucky ones, definitely make sure to use Karma, along with TooGoodToGo, and farmers markets, and many other conscious choices. Moving on, if you love sharing food and random household stuff with your neighbors, then you should definitely check out Olio. Olio connects you with people nearby who have food or goods to share for free. It makes it super easy to get or share some extra bananas, leftover lasagna, or a chair that is standing in your room and not being used. It's similar to Craigslist in the US or, for example, eBay Kleinanzeigen in Germany, but its main focus is fighting food waste. I also carried out a little experiment with Olio, so let's watch it now. Thinking about how I can use it, I remembered that I have these 2 cans of food that I haven't been using for quite some time, and they are still far away from their expiration date. So I thought that maybe someone else needs them more at this moment.
The person that is going to pick up the food items from Olio messaged me that they're going to arrive soon. So very excited for that too. Everything is happening. The apps are working. No food waste. Wow, we're really saving the planet today. I'm already at the meeting point and just waiting for the message that they've arrived, and then I will just give the food. Okay, it worked out super smoothly. I gave away the food. We just messaged where we were to meet, and yeah, I'm super happy with the experience. So happy that I gave away the food to people, someone who needs it right now, because those items were just sitting in my cupboard for months and I don't know when I would use them. That's great. So the only concern is that even though I shared the U-Bahn station as a meeting point, he came very close to my house. So it means that the app shows your exact location, and I wasn't very happy about it. Definitely will look into it in the settings.
I'm so happy that the experiment worked out so well, and I will definitely use it in the future, whether I need to get rid of some fresh food or even household items. Moving on, we have Giki Zero, which allows you to calculate your carbon footprint without needing a science degree for that. The app gives you a personalized action plan based on your habits. Whether you want to reduce your meat intake, use less energy, buy better products, all the information is there. For example, this week while I was making and preparing for this video, I took upon a few challenges. For example, sharing unused food, which I got to accomplish through Olio. Yay! Buying secondhand clothing, which I did through Vinted. And I feel like I managed to grow my knowledge on climate change with you guys. We accomplished this challenge together, so let's clap for ourselves. The next app is Ailuna. It's very similar to Giki Zero, but honestly, I enjoyed Ailuna a little bit more. Don't tell Giki Zero, please. Ailuna helps you create and stick to small green goals, whether it's plastic-free week, veggie meals, cold wash challenge. It basically gamifies your eco journey, just like Duolingo, but for sustainable habits and without the judgmental owl. By the way, if you're searching for EU alternatives for Duolingo, give a look at Bubble and Linkvist. With Ailuna, I set a weekly goal of reconnecting with my wardrobe, which I really enjoyed. As I mentioned, through Vinted, I managed to sell some old clothes that I wasn't using, but they were still in good condition, but forgotten by me. And I mended and upcycled a few different pieces of clothing that I wasn't wearing for a long time because they were either torn somewhere or too big on me. So I would call it a huge success because now I got back my clothes that I used to love so much, but I couldn't wear for a long time for different reasons. And I will definitely be using Ailuna a lot more in the future. And I think I will set weekly challenges for myself. Let me know if you'd be interested in watching a video like that. That would be cool. Moving on, if you ever wanted to decode food or cosmetic labels, but you don't have a PhD in chemistry, then you should definitely check out Yuka. Yuka scans barcodes and tells you how healthy or harmful a product is based on real studies. It will highlight red flag ingredients, endocrine disruptors, carcinogens. The Yuka app claims that its ratings are based on the evidence provided by the European Food Safety Authority, the National Agency for Food and Occupational Health Safety, and the International Agency for Research on Cancer. That also takes recognized European scientific studies into account. I've also used this app for quite some time, on and off. I think it's been 2 years now, and I find it very useful to check nutrient contents for food or different ingredients for cosmetics. That being said, you have to use it consciously because I feel like sometimes it overreacts. It gives an unnecessarily low rating for a product that I think is not that bad. Matt Lambert, who is the Health Information and Promotion Manager at World Cancer Research Fund, said it way better than I could ever do. What is happening is that the app isn't able to give you the percentage of additives used, so whether it contains 0.01% or a larger percentage, it is scoring a product lower as soon as it contains it. While we should be aware of how many additives we consume, it is also worth bearing in mind that some of them have functional benefits like stopping food from going rancid. Just because a food contains certain additives, it doesn't necessarily mean the product is bad for us. We should pay more attention to the amount of saturated fat, sugar, and salt it contains. It's our overall diet and lifestyle that by far has the biggest impact on our health. So obviously the best food products would be completely unprocessed, fresh fruits and vegetables that we can buy and make food ourselves. But in case you have to buy a processed product, Yuka app is super useful. And when it comes to personal care products and cosmetics, I find it also extremely useful because I can always check whether something is carcinogenic or whether it contains an ingredient that makes me break out, for example. So yeah, overall the app is easy and clear to use, and it's very helpful because sometimes it can be tricky to know what exactly goes into different products. I really enjoyed using the Yuka app during my little investigation, and while I was at TK Maxx, I really enjoyed switching between BrandSnap and Yuka to check all the aspects of what I was looking at. By the way, don't forget to download BrandSnap through the link in my description. And on that note, I think we can wrap up for this video. I really enjoyed and had so much fun using and trying all of these apps. Can these apps really turn you into an eco-saint with a zero carbon footprint? Probably not. But they do make it easier to try, and as we know, trying is always better than doing nothing. And it's a lot more than most people do. Baby steps really matter. The banana that you're going to rescue on Olio really matters. Your French anti-monopoly shampoo purchase really matters. So I don't know about you, but I will definitely be using a lot more of these apps and platforms. One of my favorite additions to my sustainability and ethics collection are BrandSnap, Youro, Olio, and Ailuna. So let me know in the comments which apps did you like the most, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and until the next one, stay conscious.